is Aida Kabo. I'm a program officer at Speak Up Africa, an advocacy and policy action tank based in Dakar. And my experience in the sanitation sector has shown me the importance of a multisectoral approach, meaning joint efforts and resources to ensure sanitation is considered as a utility service. So I'll be here presenting the Senegal experience, placing advocacy as a convening power in the fecal sludge management sector. What is to the key point maybe to remember is that Senegal is a very particular country when it comes to sanitation and fecal sludge management. It has been one of the leading West African countries in terms of access to sanitation, fecal sludge management, and the use of technologies as well. Senegal counts a population of 50 million people, with 67.4% of urban access to improved sanitation and 42.3% of rural access. Open defecation rates are also very low in urban areas, but they remain also kind of moderate in rural areas. So what is very important to know is that at the national level, non-sewer sanitation or on-site sanitation is the most used FSM system at the household level. However, as many African countries, the sanitation sector faces challenges such as lack of clear regulatory framework or lack of coordination between actors, as well as lack of financial and innovative financing mechanisms, especially when we're speaking of the service chain component. And more importantly, sanitation tends to be considered as a isolated issue, meaning that it is often treated as a sole issue and managed on its own, rather than in an integrated approach where education sectors, health sectors, finance sectors, etc., are also convened to the table. And with the COVID-19 pandemic, the need for a better coordination and improved access to safely managed sanitation has been very accentuated. Therefore, out of this context, I'd like to, discuss some successes that are arising in certain countries, such as Senegal, countries who are promoting multisectoral approaches for sanitation and who have experienced successes in fecal sludge management as well. So in Senegal, we're looking at a multi-actor value chain along which a range of actors are revolving around the Ministry of Water and Sanitation. So when we speak of actors, we mean sectoral ministries such as education, health, urbanisms, etc. We're also considering civil society organizations who play an essential role in ensuring access to safely managed sanitation for all. We're also looking at the national utility owners, local government as well, and private sector companies, as well as the media, along with development partners, etc. And in that sense, advocacy has really contributed in helping to build strong partnerships and in improving as well communication between actors, which is a key element required to ensure that sanitation is considered as a basic service and as a utility service as well. So among the key success drivers that we're looking at when we're speaking of the case of Senegal, we have first advocacy, because advocacy efforts at all levels, meaning at the government level, at the operational level, etc., have really helped us, bring all the key stakeholders together and foster that dynamic of effective partnership building and just foster that dynamic and ecosystem where people are really merging their efforts and resources to achieve their objectives. A second success driver is partnership building. Partnership building has been really materialized through a strong policy environment with a clear definition of responsibilities among sectors. And along those lines, we have a great example with ONAS, which is the National Sanitation Utility. ONAS has launched several initiatives aiming to foster a multisectoral approach to on-site sanitation management, namely through the Fecal Sludge Market Structuring Program, or PSMBV, which Speak Up Africa has had the opportunity to support the implementation. And in that sense, it was really our focus was really to build the capacity of the key actors that were revolving around the sanitation service chain, ensuring that, for instance, MTers or sanitation operators were better at providing quality service. We're also better at understanding what their role was along this value chain. And so to also this partnership building, we've seen increased partnership built with local authorities who have a key role to play in framing that the sanitation actions and initiatives. We've also seen the Sanitation Actors Association regrouping all the service providers and service operators in the sanitation sector, partner with CSOs and development partners to really push things forward. So in terms of capacity building that has emerged from this partnership building that we've seen, sanitation operators have been trained on best practices and quality service delivery. And in that sense, capacity building for the private sector is linked to both financial and operational capacities of the operators. And in that sense, pit emptying companies were facing certain challenges in terms of access to financial loans and to acquire machinery such as trucks and then other technological innovations that could support them in performing their tasks. And so to encourage their implication in the sector and to help solve those challenges, civil society organizations such as the USAID program for water, sanitation, and hygiene, WASHFIN, have launched an initiative that aims to provide technical assistance to those operators and connect them with local financial institutions to ease the obtention of loans. So we've seen great results in that sense. We've seen several of those private sector companies really emerging and flourishing in the sector. Also, another key component of the capacity building is the media engagement component. We've made sure to ensure that sanitation has been further and increasingly showcased in the media with certain capacity building activities aiming to really teach or maybe train the media to better communicate around sanitation and to understand that they also have a role to play in ensuring universal access to safely managed sanitation. In that sense, we have this group or platform that is called the Communications Advocacy Policy Outreach and Opportunities for Proof, which is an alliance where Speak Up Africa is a member, and it also counts several members at the local level, such as ONAS, the Sanitation Actors Association, and etc. These actors have really put together their resources and knowledge to launch a sanitation media fellowship, which consists in reinforcing journalists' capacities around sanitation, and thus increase their interest in the sector and also ensure that we see better quality articles in the press as well. Another key point when we speak of capacity building is the sharing of best practices and lessons learned with like-minded partners. And the Kabo Alliance has really played a strong role in providing a platform for coordinated actions to improve access to sanitation. With coalitions of partners like that and key actors, we can definitely mutualize our efforts and reach our common objectives around access to safely managed sanitation, and to also improve fecal sludge management. And another element that is very key in Senegal is the dissemination of non-sewerage sanitation standards. We've worked on that with the Senegalese Standards Association, ASN, to really ensure that not only private sector companies, but also institutional actors are becoming more aware of the existence of NSS standards, and that they're being used in the field as well. And one major outcome of this also comes around private sector again, and it's the call to action of sanitation service providers, which has been issued, I believe, last year in June, as the COVID-19 pandemic we're facing several challenges in terms of properly managing their companies, and also having access to the support and aid that has been put up by the government. Therefore, their call to action really allowed to see some results, such as triggering the process for the signature of the decree project on mechanical emptying, and also having local financial institutions, reaching out to them and see how things could be, eased for them, and how we can help them survive during this pandemic. And I think the last point, the last and not least point, is coordination. So the creation, the coordination component has helped us to bring alive this national coordination platform that has been implemented by the Ministry of Water and Sanitation through the Sanitation Directorate. And we see through this platform that stakeholders are being convened at the same table, and are being given the space to share their different initiatives and projects that they're working on. And it has also shown how stakeholders can further collaborate and work better together. As I mentioned previously, where the coordination between actors, meaning the coordination between civil society organizations, including Speak Up Africa, and private sector companies represented by the Sanitation Actors Associations, have allowed the triggering of the decree project on mechanical emptying, which is a decree aiming to certify the profession of mechanical emptying. And this decree project has recently been shared among key actors and has been validated and by those key actors, and is awaiting to be introduced in the institutional system, meaning it being verified by the judicial services of the ministries, and then be signed by the president later on. This is a big win for the sanitation sector here in Senegal, because it will really help to boost the work that is being conducted by service providers currently. And another win that has been brought in the sanitation sector by stronger coordination is the creation of a directorate dedicated specifically to non-sewerage sanitation, which this results from the implementation of the FSM Business, which is the program for fecal sludge structuring market launched by ONAS. And it has led to the creation of this directorate to further promote non-sewerage sanitation and ensure we scale up public service delegation to the private sector across the country. because private sector delegation, the delegation of services to private sector companies has really helped increase the productivity and the results gained from the operation from operating fecal sludge treatment plants. And so to conclude, the case of Senegal really demonstrated how advocacy at all levels has brought all the key stakeholders, all the key players together and really fostered effective partnership building, how joint efforts have allowed to transform on-site sanitation service delivery, and how capacity building for actors such as the private sector, the media, has improved engagement around the repurposing of non-sewer sanitation. And it is really essential that institutional framework, a proper institutional framework set the role for each actors to avoid a duplication of efforts and foster, the building of partnerships to reach greater objectives and to have a greater impact. Multisectorality is really crucial to break challenges around sanitation, as well as around the financing sector, and more importantly, effective partnerships and coordination among national and local actors are necessary to achieve SDG 6 target 6.2 by 2030. Thank you. Thank you for listening in to my presentation. If you have any questions about my presentation, please leave them in the comment sections. And also, please feel free to attend one of the live discussions sessions. You will find the schedule of these sessions on the agenda page.
FINISH stands for Financial Inclusion, Improved Sanitation and Health. It is a program working towards healthier and socio-economically empowered community. Visit the FINISH Mondial exhibition to discover how we are developing the local circular sanitation economy for cross-sectoral impact on sanitation, climate, and agriculture.
Welcome to one and all. I am Srinithi Sudhakar and I work as a specialist in governance as part of the Tamil Nadu Urban Sanitation Support Program led by the Indian Institute for Human Settlements. Tamil Nadu is a state in southern India and the Tamil Nadu Urban Sanitation Support Program or TNUSSP was launched in 2015 to support the government effect improvements along the urban sanitation chain and also scale fecal sludge management. So this presentation will be about a study we conducted as part of TNUSSP to understand the roles of public and private sector stakeholders in sanitation within Tamil Nadu, which helped us develop recommendations to strengthen the existing institutional framework for sanitation, as well as served as an enabling factor for institutionalizing fecal sludge management. So before we get into the sanitation context in Tamil Nadu, I would like to highlight that similar to many geographies around the world, in the past, Tamil Nadu had predominant attention towards sewerage services and the roles and responsibilities for these services have been more clearly defined. FSM, being a new area of work, did not have the systems, processes, or stakeholder models for implementation, and therefore, the public and private sector stakeholders needed strengthening, which you can see on this slide. So to tell you a bit about Tamil Nadu is one of the most urbanized states in the country with nearly 30 million urban population and around 664 urban local bodies or ULBs. So considering this rapid urbanization in the state, the government realized that providing 100% sewerage services is not possible and especially for its smaller local bodies. Therefore, FSM was recognized as an economic alternative, and starting from 2014, the government has been actively working in this area. And also, in general, FSM has received good policy attention both from the national as well as the state government. So, Tamil Nadu already has some existing sanitation service models in operation. And first, taking access and containment, Tamil Nadu already has a good number of toilets connected to on-site sanitation systems, And here, the households are predominantly responsible for provisioning and maintenance of these systems. Next, in terms of emptying and transportation component, Tamil Nadu has a thriving private market of desludging operators who service most of the urban areas in Tamil Nadu. And additionally, there are also local body run services, and these are mostly in large ULBs. Next, with respect to treatment, there is a considerable number of sewage treatment plants, and starting from 2018, the government has also made considerable investments for co-treatment and also construction of fecal sludge treatment plants or FSTPs. However, these existing sanitation service models did face some challenges like non-adherence to standards, or there was a very unregulated desludging market, or lack of occupational safety, etc. And in order to address this, strengthen systems and processes when necessary in the sanitation service delivery. So we next explored how the existing systems and processes can be strengthened, keeping in mind the existing institutional framework in the state and also the existing sanitation service models. So in line with this, the objectives of the study were: one, identify gaps and improvements required in the sanitation processes, and two, define new roles and responsibilities to strengthen the existing public sector actors. So the approach adopted for this was in-depth discussions with state government officers as well as local body officers for different tiers of urban local bodies. So this table shows the existing institutional framework in Tamil Nadu for sanitation, which includes the state and the ULB framework. Here, access and containment has not been included because, like we discussed, households are predominantly responsible for this component. And next, in terms of emptying and transportation, as discussed, private players play a major role in operation and maintenance of this component. With respect to treatment, the state government has a predominant role in planning, design, and also investment. In terms of operation and maintenance in the treatment component, this is primarily anchored at the local body level, but the government is actively encouraging private sector engagement in this activity. Next, in terms of overall staffing, we have administration, engineering, and public health cadre who are responsible for the sanitation service delivery in the state. So finally, while reading this slide, we need to keep in mind that this study focused on the Tamil Nadu state and the local body framework. But above this, there is a central national government which provides funding and also makes policies, but which is not covered here as part of this study. Okay, so going into the study, this slide actually lists the existing sanitation process that have been mapped at the local level as part of this study. So as categorized on the slide, some of these are existing processes which have been taken up by public and private sector stakeholders. And then there are new processes identified as well, which needs to be picked up. So these new processes have been identified from the gaps which have been identified while mapping the existing processes. To take an example of the emptying and transportation component, private desludging operators were already responsible for anchoring operations in Tamil Nadu. But going forward, as part of the study, the public sector was also assigned the role of streamlining these services through monitoring and regulation. So next, now as a sample, I'm going to run you through one specific example, one specific sanitation process from the comprehensive list of processes that were identified during the study. So in this table, you can see that the first two columns map the existing activities and the existing staff, and the subsequent three columns detail the proposed activities, proposed staff, and the scope of private sector management required in order to strengthen this existing process. So this in this example of community and public toilets, we can see that while the construction and procurement process have already been clearly streamlined with relevant staff, the additional roles for staff in terms of adherence to standards or monitoring in the case of any insanitary situations are activities which have been totally ignored. And hence, these are the new processes that we have recommended as part of this study to strengthen this process. Okay, so this slide shows an example of another mapping exercise which we have done for a completely new activity, that is construction and operation and maintenance of fecal sludge treatment plants. The table below identifies all the new activities as part of this process and assigns public as well as private sector actors who can deliver these proposed new activities. So, in order to summarize the recommendations, these can be categorized into one, enhancing the existing process, two, modifying existing roles and processes, and three, adding new processes. So, to operationalize these set of recommendations in terms of the public sector, it is essential that all the new modified roles and activities need to be institutionalized into the existing institutional framework of the government. And secondly, capacity building is very essential both for public and private sector stakeholders for them to efficiently deliver their new and modified FSM roles. And finally, the private market also needs to be developed to respond to any new business opportunities which will arise during sanitation service delivery. So, while undertaking the detailed mapping of sanitation processes, this provided us insights on the gaps and the roles and the responsibilities which needed to be strengthened in order to ensure efficient FSM service delivery. However, there are certain challenges which continue to remain in terms of inadequate personnel, specifically in the public sector, and also very weak public and private sector partnerships. So, to conclude, in Tamil Nadu, institutionalizing of new and modified FSM roles strengthened public and private sector collaboration and enhanced capacities and role clarities for both public and private sector stakeholders are very essential for sustained FSM service delivery in the state. Thank you. Have any questions or comments about what I've presented today, please leave them in the comment section. Also, it would be great if you can join us in the live discussion sessions to share your thoughts on this presentation. You can find a schedule for these sessions on the FSM agenda page. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Fariha Mili from Bangladesh. I am currently working as WASH coordinator in BASA Foundation. I'm very glad to share my experience through this presentation slide with all of you. So here I am going to discuss about my presentation slide, which is regarding towards a sustainable business model in Sakhipur Municipality, Bangladesh. So I would like to discuss first about the scenario in Bangladesh regarding the FSM. So Bangladesh has witnessed a remarkable growth in on-site sanitation facilities throughout the country over last decade. And the biggest achievement in this sector is the elimination of the open defecation. According to the World Bank, you can say that open defecation in Bangladesh has come to a 0%, and 86% household had access into an improved sanitation system, and of which 49% were pit latrine and 25% septic tanks, and only 13% pipe to a sewer system. And currently, the total population among the total population, only 26% people are depending on shared toilet, of which only 29% urban population are sharing their toilets with each other. So, however, the condition of fecal sludge management in Bangladesh is under developing situation, because all people are not having septic tanks or improved latrine, but we are all together trying to improve the situation. But sometimes the connection of septic tanks or pit latrines are directly going to the open land, wetland, water body. So the environment is somehow degraded in that way. But it is very happy news for us that the situation is we are trying to overcome the situation day by day. So while talking about the fecal sludge management condition in Sakhipur municipality, I would like to first tell you about the location or geographical condition of Sakhipur municipality. Sakhipur municipality is located in the north central part of Bangladesh, and it is considered as the second biggest upazila of Tangail district in Bangladesh. And Sakhipur municipality was emerged as Thana in 1976. After that, in 1983, it became a upazila having one municipality. You can see the total area is quite big, 19 kilometers square, and total population is more than 30,000. And here we are talking about the fecal sludge management system. We can see the waste input type in this municipality, particularly in that we can see that there's solid waste and fecal sludge. And in Sakhipur municipality, many of us know that there is a co-compost plant which uses this solid waste and fecal sludges to make a compost, which added value to these resources. And after that, me working in Basa Foundation, I am currently engaged in two WASH projects, which is WASH for Urban Poor project, and another is this will be described after, that is Finnish module project. So these two projects are currently implementing in Sakhipur municipality, and they are contributing a lot according to the community, according to the municipality, that they're contributing a lot for changing the fecal sludge management system or whole service chain system in that particular area. For Wash for Urban Poor project started in April 2015, and it is expected to run until 2023. And under this Wash for Urban Poor project, if the coke compost plant, which is currently located in Sakhipur municipality, was established, and it is operating continuously for last 5 years. This is very great news for us that it didn't stop even the lockdown situation. It was operating continuously. This project is currently implementing by Basa Foundation with technical support of WaterAid Bangladesh. And through this project, around 2,500 households are being served for fecal sludge management services, and also 700 households are being having positive services through municipality solid waste collection and transportation services. So while I am talking about the co-compost plant, which is constructed under this particular project, so this the land for this compost plant was totally authorized by the local government, the Sakhipur municipality itself, and the fecal sludges which are being used in this compost plant are collected and run by the conservancy department of municipality. And again, the solid waste, which is also collected into the household from the household level, is run by a private entrepreneur in Sakhipur. So Basa Foundation is currently implementing another project in Sakhipur municipality, that is Finnish Mondial project. Here Finnish stands for Financial Inclusion, Improved Sanitation and Health. So this Finnish Mondial project works with a multi-stakeholder approach, which involves the entire value chain. This project started in last year, January 2020, and it is expected to run till 2025. And again, Basa Foundation is implementing this with technical and financial support from West the Netherlands. And this program is a kind of enriching the thinking of the household and the community, the government officials through conducting some awareness raising sessions and some training. So this is basically based on enriching the soft skill of the community level and others also. And here also we collect data from the municipality or conservancy department and from the solid waste entrepreneur. So, as I have talked about the Finnish Mondial project here, that project is actually following a diamond approach to establish a public-private partnership into the sanitation service chain. And while we are talking about service chain, I have to know how the fecal flush service chain is working in Sakhipur. So you can see in the slide in the top left top side that collection is the first step while talking about the service chain. From collection to producing a product value product all together makes a value chain process. So first of all, uh, fecal sludges are collected from the on-site latrines or septic tanks, pit latrines. Then they are safely transported to co-compost plant. Here transportation is a very big issue because you have to maintain a lot of safety for the workers, for the vacuum tank itself, so that the sludges don't get exposed to the environment and don't harm the environment and the people. So after transmitted fecal sludges are transmitted safely to the uh, compost plant, where pre-treatment and post-treatment are done. Under pre-treatment, the sludges get dry, the liquid portion of the sludges get separated. So this whole process altogether at last makes a value product that is co-compost, which is a soil conditioner and used by many farmers in Shokipur. So after that, I would like to discuss with you about the diagram of the compost treatment plan. Here you can see a diagram, which is the plan of the treatment plant. So you can see in the right side corner that there are 10 drying bed. At first, as we talked earlier, that fecal sludges are collected from the community or the household. They are transmitted into this drying bed, and it is kept for 14 days here. Here all the liquid parts from the sludges get separated through uh, 16-inch filtration process. After that, the liquid parts go to the constructed wetland portion, and after 3 days it gets filtrated in two chamber and comes to polishing pond. There you can see polishing pond. And we regularly examine the water quality of this polishing pond, which exactly goes with the standard of Bangladesh, that we can directly uh, send this water to the open land and it is not harmful at all. After 14 days, we take the dry cakes of the sludges to the drying bed chamber, and in the mixing zone we mix the sludges and the solid waste, which we separate in the separate solid waste separation chamber. We mix there the sludge, the solid waste and sawdust. The ratio of these three products is 1:1:3, where solid waste is three times solid waste is three and the other two are one. And mixing all this together, we put it into the in the left side in the middle. You can see that there is a composting bed, which is 45 feet in length. So we put it there, making a height of 2.5 inch, 2.5 feet, with this mixing all together fecal slash solid waste and sawdust, and we keep it here for 8 weeks. And after every 3 days, we make it turn with the turner so that the oxygen can go into this compost and uh, make the bacteria alive. After 56 to 60 days, it is almost in a form of compost, and we take it to a maturation chamber and keep it there for 7 days. And the compost get dry more, and we take it to the greenhouse effect chamber, where we maintain the moisture and temperature. And after that, uh, we just pack it after what can I say, uh, from the greenhouse chamber. We just screen it and make the uh, fine parts of the compost and package it for selling. So this is how the treatment plan is working. It would better if I have more time to make you understand about the whole process, because it's very interesting when you will get the chance to visit it. The end product, that is co-compost. It is basically a soil conditioner which uh, increases the fertility of the land. So this co-compost is uh, used by a lot of farmers in Sakhipur. These are some pictures of some packages of this co-compost plant. You can find it in 1 kg, 5 kg, or 50 kg compost package from the co-compost plant. Here, the Department of Agricultural Extension from Sakhipur helps us a lot to sell this co-compost, because they hold a meeting each week with the farmers, and they advertise about this compost, because the compost has that kind of uh, positive influence on the land, that increases the fertility of that agricultural land. So the Department of Agricultural Extension is also very hopeful about the this co-compost. So these are some pictures where some farmers and housewives are very happy to use this co-compost, because they are in Sakhipur. A lot of farmers are working with this co-compost, because they have uh, got a good result using this co-compost in agricultural sector, in producing vegetables, or even in non-food items, that is flour, or or any other trays. They are having very good results. So the co-compost plant is actually done under the one project that I have already told you, that Wash for Urban Poor project. In Sakhipur, we are also implementing another project, Finish Mondial, which is increasing the soft skill of the community. So here, under this project, we are conducting a lot of awareness raising activities on demand generation for solid waste segregation from household level, for dislodging their pit latrines, septic tanks regularly. So these are the photos of some activities here, where you can see that community level discussion is holding by our sorry mobilizing team. And after that, a lot of poster leaflets are distributed among the people, to make them understand about the importance of this dislodging and waste segregation process. Again, you can see that miking is done to make people more understand, because if you say anything loudly, people would definitely have focus on you. Then after that, we have also conducted uh, a session with the government officials, with all other stakeholders working in that particular area in Sakhipur. And we are trying to make a connection with the sanitary entrepreneurs to uh, support them, so that they can also increase the territory of their business in this particular sanitation sector. So under Finish Mondial project, we have talked with a lot of sanitation entrepreneurs working in there. We managed to convince 5 entrepreneurs to have a service level agreement with the local government, that is Sakhipur Municipality. And fortunately, we made it. And these 5 sanitation entrepreneurs have already signed a service level contract with the municipality. And here is some pictures from the right side that you can see. This is from the session in service level contract ceremony. And after that, we hold a training session for these entrepreneurs to orient them about the service level contract and about the total partnership management. And the outcome of these 2 projects has come to us as a blessing, because uh, people from the community level are become very conscious about this waste management and fecal sludge management. We are regularly working in the field and getting their feedback regularly. They are now very willing to pay for these services, and currently more than 1,000 household is paying 60 taka for this solid waste management services, and more than 1,000 taka in Bangladesh taka, Bangladesh capital from taka. They are giving 1,000 to 1,200 taka for having the service for fecal sludge management. So people are being conscious. This is a great outcome for us, and a lot of farmers are motivated through our project activities, through the influence of the agricultural officials, to use this compost, which is a soil conditioner, and they are getting a very good result. And after that, the most important thing is the environment is getting clean in Sakhipur municipality, because the solid waste which is generated by the community and the fecal sludges both are uh, taken to the compost plant, and this is altogether creating a value product. And this is a great achievement for us. And I want to share with you that in talking about the business side, we are we are trying to convince entrepreneurs, or trying to make more entrepreneurs so that they can come into this solid waste business, or the entrepreneurship business for sanitary products. So we have already give loan of 1 lakh taka to a person for opening a sanitary uh, shop through Microfinance Institute. So he was saying us that it was very helpful for him to run his family uh, in a good way. So while working, we have to face some challenges. So do us. So at first, while we were making we are trying to sell the compost into the community level, they were not taking it positively, because solid waste and sludge don't have a good impression on us. So people were firstly very confused about they should use it or not, if this will be good or bad. So this was very challenging for us. And again, when talking about the plant workers, co-compost plant workers, sometimes people don't want to work into the solid waste or fecal sludges, because they think this may cause health issues. But we are trying to ensure total safety for the workers. So this would change, hopefully. People's mindset would change regarding this. And after that, while we were conducting session on waste segregation from household level, people were not supportive, because they were not provided with separate pots or polys to segregate their solid waste from the household level. There we are used to dump all the solid waste in one pot. So this was a challenge for us, but the situation is changing. And after that, uh, there's some lackings in municipality level in because conservancy department is not so much enriched, but as our government has taken the steps and told all the officials that make a strong conservancy department, because solid waste and fecal sludge management is a burning issue for our near future. So this is also hopefully in a track of change. And actually, in Bangladesh, the CCP being the first of this kind of establishment has drawn attention from all the government officials, and it is also appreciated by our Bangladesh government. This year, last year, December 2020, Bangladesh has published its eighth 5-year plan through Department of Planning. So there in sanitation sector, they showed Shokipur co-compost plant as an example so that other can replicate it. So here you can see the portion of this 5-year plan which government has directly appreciated our work, our partner WaterAid, local government, Shokipur Municipality and Basa Foundation for their outstanding achievement and performance through the last 5 years. So this is a great achievement for us, and we are looking forward to make it more effective in the Shokipur municipality, even in other areas, so that fecal sludges and solid waste all together make a value chain, make a good value product, and it comes to us as a resource, not a bad thing. So I think the situation is changing altogether. The partner NGOs, government, community level, public-private entrepreneurs, everyone is thinking twice about this issue, and I think the whole thinking will change, and we will represent a sustainable and healthy environment for the whole world. That's all from my presentation. Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you again.